Before anything else happens, before any name is spoken, before any story truly begins, allow yourself to notice that you are here. There is nothing you need to do, no effort to make, no thought to hold, no meaning to chase. Just allow your body to rest exactly as it is. If your eyes are open, they may close now, or later, whenever they wish. And if your thoughts wander, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to stop them. Let them drift like distant clouds, moving slowly across a darkened sky. Listen. You may begin to notice a gentle sound in the distance. Rain, not heavy, not urgent, just rain falling steadily, drop by drop, touching the earth without hurry. Each drop finds its place. Each drop arrives and then disappears. There is no rhythm you must follow, no pattern to understand. Just the sound itself, soft and even, wrapping around you. Between the rain, you may sense a light movement of air, a quiet wind passing through. Unseen branches. Leaves respond gently, not all at once, just a subtle rustling now and then. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden. Only the quiet language of night, speaking slowly. As you listen, your breathing may begin to soften. There is no need to change it, no need to control it. Simply notice the way the breath enters and leaves, in and out, like the rain, like the wind. Unconcerned with time. If you feel tension anywhere in your body, you don't need to fix it. Just notice it. Perhaps in your shoulders, perhaps in your jaw, perhaps in your legs or hands. Let the sound of rain pass through those places, as if each drop carries a little weight away, not all at once, just a little at a time. Now, gently, I want to welcome you. Welcome to this quiet space. Welcome to this moment where nothing is expected of you. You are safe here. You do not need to stay awake. You do not need to remember anything that follows. You only need to listen, or even simply hear, without listening at all. Both are enough. Tonight, you are not being told a story to learn. You are being offered a story to rest within. A story that moves slowly, at the pace of rain on old stone. A story that does not rush toward an ending. Imagine now, without effort, a night from a very distant time, so far back that calendars no longer matter, so far back that history feels more like a whisper. The world is darker then, not dangerous, just unlit. There are no cities glowing in the distance, no machines humming through the night, only land, sky, and weather. It is raining on that ancient night as well. The same kind of rain you hear now, rain that has fallen like this for thousands of years, long before it ever reached your ears. Somewhere in the far north, beyond familiar maps, beyond names that are easily spoken, the rain falls over forests and stone. Tall trees stand quietly, their roots deep in cold soil. Rivers move slowly in the dark, their surfaces broken by falling drops. This is a land shaped by time and silence. A land where stories were once carried by voices, shared beside fires, spoken softly so the night would listen. Not all of those stories were written down. Many faded or changed or were forgotten. And yet, some remain. Not loudly, not clearly. They remain like echoes, waiting for moments like this. Tonight, you will not hear a tale of great battles. No clashing steel, no shouting gods. This is a quieter story, one that moves between moments, between thoughts, between breaths. A northern story few remember, and even fewer tell. You do not need to understand it. You do not need to follow every word. If sleep comes, let it come. The story will continue, whether you hear it or not. For now, just rest at the edge of it. Let the rain carry you closer. In this ancient world, night was not something to fear. Night was a companion. It wrapped the land in stillness, allowing minds and bodies to slow. People listened more then, to the wind, to water, to silence. They understood that some truths arrive only when effort leaves. The rain continues, steady, patient, and with each passing moment, your body may feel heavier, as if gravity itself has softened. The surface beneath you holds you without question. You are supported. As this opening moment stretches on, there is nothing new to anticipate. No surprise waiting around the corner, only a gradual settling, a gentle sinking. Soon, not yet, but soon, the story will begin to take shape. Not suddenly, not sharply. It will emerge the way shapes appear in darkness, slowly, as the eyes adjust. For now, remain here, between waking and dreaming, between sound and silence. Let the rain continue its quiet work. Let the wind speak when it wishes. And let yourself drift, unhurried, into the night that has been waiting for you all along. The rain has never truly stopped. It only feels closer now, softer, more present. Your body continues to rest as your thoughts loosen their grip. That same rain begins to fall somewhere far beyond the waking world. Not suddenly, not dramatically. It is simply there, high above land and sea, beyond mountains and memory. There is a realm held quietly in place by ancient laws and long silence. Asgard. Not the Asgard of triumph and noise, but the Asgard that exists when no one is watching. Tonight, Asgard is wrapped in rain. The sky above it is dark and heavy, clouds moving slowly, layer upon layer, pressing gently downward. Rain slips from those clouds without force, without urgency, drifting down through cool air until it meets gold. The golden roofs of the great halls receive the rain patiently. Each drop touches the metal, spreads for a moment, then slides away. Over and over. Rain falling, wind moving, light slowly fading. The gold does not shine brightly tonight. It glows softly, as if remembering light rather than producing it. Rain traces ancient patterns along the edges of the roofs, following lines carved long ago. Paths worn smooth by countless nights like this one. Nothing changes. Nothing needs to. Inside those halls, the gods are asleep. Deeply. Their sleep is not fragile. It does not stir at small sounds. It does not shift with the weather. This is the rest of beings who have known many worlds, many endings, many beginnings. Breath moves slowly within their chambers, evenly, calmly. No voices speak. No thoughts press forward. Rain continues above them, a steady presence, lambdasts, layered and soft, like another kind of silence. Rain falling, wind passing, fire growing low. Torches that once burned high now rest near their end. Flames pull inward, drawing closer to their own warmth, until only embers remain, a dull glow, a quiet heat. Shadows stretch along stone walls and remain there, unmoving. Beyond the halls, wide courtyards lie empty. Stone beneath the rain darkens slowly, absorbing water, softening edges shaped by time and footsteps. Small pools form where the ground dips, their surfaces trembling gently as rain meets rain. Again and again, rain falling, wind moving, light dimming. Tall towers rise into the clouds, their upper reaches hidden from sight. Rain slides down their sides, following gravity without resistance, as it always has. The towers do not answer. They simply stand, holding the sky as they always have. Along quiet paths, statues stand watch. Or perhaps they rest. Their sharp lines blur beneath water, faces carved in stone seeming calmer, less alert, as if even stone has learned the rhythm of this night. In sheltered gardens between halls, leaves bow gently under the weight of rain. Drops gather, pause briefly, then fall away. The earth receives them without sound. Rain falling, wind stirring, life sleeping. Across the great bridge that stretches outward from the heart of Asgard, rain creates endless patterns. Each drop lands, briefly catches what little light remains, then disappears. Nothing is held, nothing is saved. The bridge listens, as it has listened for ages. Clouds press closer now, softening every distance, turning even faraway spaces into something near and quiet. There is no thunder tonight, no calling voice in the sky. Only rain, only wind, only rest. Inside the sleeping realm, time loosens its grip. Moments stretch, then soften, then drift. Asgard itself seems to breathe, slow and deep, stone and gold rising and falling together. Rain does not disturb this breath, it protects it. Each drop seems to whisper the same message, again and again, without words. Nothing must happen now. Nothing must begin. Nothing must end. Rain falling, wind moving, light fading. As this world rests beneath the rain, the edges of thought soften further. Distance loses meaning. Awareness grows gentle. There is only the steady continuation of night and a mythic realm sleeping peacefully within it. And the rain still falling, still falling. The rain continues to fall over Asgard. It has not changed its rhythm. It has not grown stronger. It has not faded. Everything remains calm. Everything rests. And yet, not everything is asleep. In a quieter corner of the realm, away from the largest halls, away from gold meant to impress, there is a presence that is not fully surrendered to rest. Freyr. He is not a god of thunder, not a god of war, not one who seeks noise or victory. Freyr belongs to softer things, to growing fields, to warming light, to the slow return of life after cold. While other gods sleep deeply beneath the rain, Freyr remains awake, not standing, not pacing, simply present. He rests near an open archway, where rain can be heard more clearly, where wind moves freely through stone and air. The light around him is low, not bright enough to cast sharp shadows, just enough to soften the darkness. Freyr has always listened more than he speaks. He listens to the earth before seeds break open. He listens to air before seasons turn. He listens to silence because silence often speaks first. Tonight, he listens to the rain, rain falling, wind moving, the world breathing slowly. At first, the sound is familiar, comforting, expected. Rain has always been a companion to growth, a promise of renewal, a quiet agreement between sky and soil. Freyr knows this rhythm well, but as the moments stretch, something within him does not fully settle. Not fear, not urgency, just a gentle unease, like a shift in wind that others do not yet feel. The rain sounds the same, and yet it feels different. Not wrong, just heavier, as if it carries more than water. Freyr does not rise, he does not call out. He simply allows his awareness to widen, to move beyond the walls, beyond the sleeping halls, out into the rain-soaked night. He senses the fields far below Asgard, resting beneath darkness, waiting for warmth. He senses forests holding their breath, leaves bowed under rain. He senses rivers receiving water quietly, flowing onward without question. Nature listens back. It always does. Rain falling, wind passing, light continuing to fade. Freyr feels the balance he has guarded for so long. The gentle harmony between growth and rest, between light and shadow. Tonight, that balance feels thin, not broken, not threatened, just stretched. He remembers other nights like this, nights before change, nights before something new took root. Change does not always arrive loudly. Often it arrives like rain, steady, unannounced. Freyr breathed slowly. There is no need to wake the others, no reason to speak yet. This feeling is not meant to alarm. It is meant to be noticed. He places his attention fully on the rain. Each drop feels like a question, not a question demanding an answer, a question asking to be held. Freyr has never been drawn to battle, never to conflict. His strength has always lived elsewhere, in patience, in care, in the willingness to wait. That is why he is awake now, not because danger is near, but because something is beginning. The rain continues its endless motion, but Freyr hears beneath it a subtle change in tone, a quiet pull towards something unseen. He allows himself to feel it fully, the weight, the softness, the uncertainty. He does not resist it. Rain falling, wind moving, fire nearly gone. Around him, Asgard sleeps on. Golden roofs glisten softly. Halls remain silent. No one stirs, and that is as it should be. Freyr remains still, a calm presence within the night, connected not to the noise of gods, but to the slow pulse of the living world. Whatever this rain carries, whatever it prepares, it will reveal itself in time. For now, Freyr listens. And the rain continues, steady and calm, as if nothing has changed. Asgard still sleeps behind Freyr, golden, halls quiet, light nearly gone. And yet, his attention moves elsewhere. Not upward, not inward, downward, toward the living world. Beyond the bridges and clouds, beyond stone and silence, there is a forest known to very few. A place older than names, older than memory, carried by voice. The Whispering Forest. It rests far below Asgard, spread wide across gentle hills and hidden valleys. A forest that is always spoken softly to those who know how to listen. Freyr knows this place well. He has felt its rhythm through countless seasons, its slow greening in spring, its heavy stillness in winter. The forest has always been balanced, always patient, until now. As Freyr allows his awareness to settle there, the rain follows. It falls through layers of air, through drifting clouds, until it reaches the forest canopy. Leaves receive the water quietly, or they should. Something feels different. The leaves are no longer fully green, not dead, not fallen, just faded. Their color softened, as if the life within them has stepped back slightly. Rain falls upon them, but the sound is wrong, too light, too hollow. Beneath the canopy, the ground waits, but it does not respond. The earth is dry, not cracked, not broken, just unwilling. Rain touches the soil and disappears without satisfaction. Freyr notices this immediately. Rain and earth are meant to meet. They are meant to speak. Tonight, their conversation feels interrupted. The forest breathes unevenly, not in pain, not in danger, just out of rhythm. Wind moves between the trees, slow, measured, but it carries something unfamiliar, a sound beneath the sound. At first it is easy to miss. It could be mistaken for leaves shifting, for branches settling into place. But Freyr listens more deeply. He always does. Within the wind, there are whispers, not voices, not words. Something closer to intention. The trees lean slightly, their branches brushing together with a gentler urgency than before. Leaves tremble, not from force, but from hesitation. Rain falling, wind moving, the forest listening. Freyr does not feel fear. What he feels is recognition. This is how imbalance begins, not with breaking, but with quiet change. The whispering forest has always spoken in subtle ways. This is its nature. Tonight, its voice is weaker, and yet it is still reaching out. Freyr senses a request, not a demand, not a warning. A plea so soft it barely shapes itself. Help. The word is not spoken aloud. It does not echo. It exists only as a feeling, a gentle pull beneath awareness. Freyr remains still. He does not rush. Rushing has never healed the land. He lets the forest speak at its own pace. The wind carries fragments, not sentences, not thoughts, only impressions. Dryness where water should linger. Fatigue where growth once flowed easily. A tired patience wearing thin. The rain continues above the canopy, faithful and unchanged, but below the forest struggles to receive it. Freyr feels the distance between sky and soil widening. Not enough to break, just enough to ache. The whispering forest does not cry out. It whispers, because it trusts him to hear. He answers without words, by listening more closely, by opening himself further. Rain falling, wind whispering, the forest breathing softly. This is not a moment for alarm. There is no enemy here, no approaching storm, only a gentle imbalance asking to be noticed. Freyr understands. This is how the living world asks for care, quietly, patiently, without accusation. He allows the connection to settle, to deepen, to hold. The forest remains, its leaves pale, its soil dry, its voice soft but present. And Freyr listens. The rain is still falling when Freyr reaches the edge of the forest. It has followed him this far, steady and patient, never asking him to hurry. Before him stands the ancient woodland, known softly as the whispering forest. It does not welcome, it does not refuse. It simply waits, Freyr pauses for a moment, not because he is uncertain, but because this is his way. He listens. Rain touches the leaves above, then slips downward, threading its way through branches and shadow. Drops meet his cloak, darkening the fabric, cool and familiar. He does not pull it closer. He lets the rain remain. With one slow step, Freyr enters the forest. Then another, and another. Each step finds the ground gently, without force, without sound beyond what the rain already gives. The soil beneath his feet feels strange. Though rain has fallen for hours, the earth does not yield. It does not soften. It remains dry, powdered, as if it has forgotten how to drink. Freyr notices this, but he does not judge it. He walks on, step, breath, step. The air within the forest is still. The wind that moved freely in Asgard now slows, threading carefully between trunks. Ancient trees rise on either side of the path, their bark dark with age, their branches bare in places where leaves should be. What leaves remain are dull, no longer green, their edges curled inward. Rain falls on them anyway, drop after drop, meeting surfaces that do not respond. Rain falling, breath steady, steps unhurried. Freyr's breathing remains calm, in and out. It matches his pace. It matches the forest. The trees do not sway. They stand as they have for centuries, roots deep, crowns high, silent witnesses to countless nights. Tonight, they say nothing. Freyr moves deeper. The light fades gradually, not suddenly as the canopy thickens overhead. Shadows lengthen, softening rather than sharpening. Rain brushes his hair, slides along his shoulders, drips from the edge of his cloak. Each drop is felt, then released. Nothing lingers. The forest floor remains quiet. No animals move. No wings stir. Even insects seem to rest. Step, breath, step. Freyr senses the forest listening, not watching. Listening, as if the trees themselves are holding their breath, waiting for something to pass. The whispers begin so softly, they almost feel imagined. Not words, not voices, just a faint movement in the air. A gentle disturbance, like leaves remembering a sound. Freyr slows, not to stop, but to hear. Rain continues above, steady and even, a constant layer beneath every other sound. Beneath it, something else stirs, a feeling rather than a message. A quiet need, a subtle pull. Freyr does not answer yet. He allows the feeling to exist, to unfold in its own time. He places one hand lightly against the trunk of a tree as he passes. The bark is cool, dry beneath the rain. Another sign. Step, breath. Step. The deeper he walks, the slower everything becomes. Thoughts stretch, moments widen, The forest does not push him forward. It does not pull him back. It simply surrounds him. Rain falls. Footsteps continue. Breath remains slow. Somewhere ahead, the whispers grow just slightly clearer. Not louder, just closer. Like a quiet plea that does not wish to disturb. Freyr feels no fear, only attention. He continues on, one calm step at a time, moving gently through rain and shadow, allowing sleep to settle wherever it wishes. The forest holds him, the rain moves with him, and the night deepens. The rain continues as Freyr walks deeper, until the forest begins to change around him. Not suddenly, not sharply. The trees grow closer together. Their trunks widen. Their roots rise gently from the ground, twisting slowly, as if the earth itself has grown tired of holding them hidden. Freyr slows, not because he is afraid, but because the air feels heavier here, thicker, older. The whispers he has been hearing begin to gather, still soft, still gentle, but no longer scattered. They move together now, like breath drawn inward, preparing to speak. Freyr stops beneath Thelme, towering shape. At first it seems like only another tree, ancient, broad, rooted deeper than sight. But as the rain slides along its bark, as water traces lines worn smooth by centuries, he feels it, a presence, not above him, not before him, within the tree itself. This is Myrkva, the spirit of the forest, the heartwood memory, the quiet keeper of what once was. Myrkva does not move. The great trunk stands still, its branches reaching outward like slow resting arms. Leaves cling sparsely, dark and dulled, barely stirring beneath the rain. Freyr places his palm gently against the bark. The surface is cool, dry beneath the rain, exhausted. For a long moment, nothing happens. The forest holds its breath. The rain continues, patient as ever. Then a voice begins to form, not aloud, not carried through the air. It rises slowly, from within the wood, from deep rings of memory. It is Myrkva's voice, slow, faint, worn thin by time, not frightening, not demanding, just tired. Freyr does not speak. He listens. The voice drifts like mist lifting from damp ground. It does not hurry its words. Each sound arrives gently, then rests. Myrkva remembers. There was a time, long before this rain felt heavy, when the forest was green beyond measure. Leaves once layered the canopy thick with life. Light filtered through in soft gold streams. The ground drank deeply and freely. Roots stretched without effort. Branches grew without fear. Animals moved easily here. Birdsong filled the air. The wind played among the leaves. The forest breathed without strain. As Myrkva speaks, the rain seems to listen too. Its rhythm remains steady, but something in it softens. The voice continues, never rising, never pressing. Seasons once passed gently through this place. Cold arrived, then released its hold. Warmth followed, not harsh, not demanding. Growth returned, again and again. The forest learned trust. Mirkva carries these memories quietly, not with sorrow, not with anger, only with weariness. Over time, the balance shifted. Slowly, so slowly, that even the trees did not notice at first. The rain still came, but the ground forgot how to drink. Roots reached deeper, finding less. Leaves grew thinner. Light felt farther away. Still, the forest endured. It always had. Now, Mirkva feels the strain in every ring of wood. Not pain, not fear, fatigue. The voice grows softer still, almost dissolving into the sound of rain. It does not ask for rescue. It does not demand change. It only wishes to be heard. Freyr remains silent. His hand stays against the bark. His breath stays slow. He feels the truth of the forest, not as a problem, but as a living thing. Something that is carried too much for too long. Rain falls. Wind moves gently. The forest listens. Mirkva's voice fades in and out, like embers glowing beneath ash. Still present, still alive. The past lingers here, not as regret, but as quiet memory. Freyr does not promise anything yet. He does not need to. Being here is enough for now. Listening is enough. The rain continues to fall around them, washing bark and leaf and stone. The forest does not feel alone in this moment, and neither does Freyr. The rain does not stop. It does not need to. Freyr remains where he is, beneath the ancient trees, within the quiet heart of the forest. For a long moment, he does nothing at all. Then slowly, he lowers himself toward the ground, not with ceremony, not with intention to be seen. He simply sits. The earth beneath him is damp, cool through the fabric of his cloak. It does not shift. It does not resist. It holds him. Freyr allows his weight to settle fully. No tension remains in his body. No readiness. No preparation. Just presence. Rain touches his shoulders, his arms, his hair. It slides along the folds of his cloak and falls away again. He does not brush it aside. Above him, leaves collect water and release it slowly, drop by drop, again and again. Freyr closes his eyes, not to turn inward, but to listen more clearly. Rain falling, earth breathing, the forest holding still. There is no magic here in the way stories usually describe. No light, no force, no change that can be seen. Only listening. Freyr places one hand on the ground beside him. His palm meets soil that is cool and quiet. not soft, not yielding, but alive. Beneath the surface, the earth carries a rhythm, slow, deep, older than rain, older than trees. Freyr matches his breath to it, in and out, in time with the ground. The rain becomes part of that rhythm, not separate, not above, just another layer moving gently through the same moment. Freyr does not ask the forest for anything. He does not command. He does not promise. He listens. In that listening, a sound begins to form, not spoken aloud, not fully silent, a whisper shaped by memory. It is an old song, not one with words meant to be understood, but with tones meant to be felt. A melody that once moved through fields and roots, through open air and growing leaves. Freyr allows the song to surface, barely, so softly it blends with the rain. The sound is uneven, gentle, uncertain, like a memory finding its way back. Rain falling, song breathing, earth listening. The forest does not respond all at once. Nothing shifts suddenly, but something loosens. The ground beneath Freyr seems to soften, not in texture but in attention, as if it is being noticed again after a long time. The trees remain still, yet their silence feels different, less heavy, less strained. Freyr continues the song, no beginning, no end, just a slow circular motion, returning to itself. His breath remains calm, his body remains still, only the quiet rhythm continues. Rain runs along roots that curve near the surface. Water traces paths worn long ago. The soil listens. Time stretches here. Moments widen, then dissolve. There is no sense of before or after, only now. Freyr rests his other hand on the earth, both palms open, receiving, not giving. The song becomes almost indistinguishable from the rain. The rain becomes almost indistinguishable from breath. Everything blends. Rain falling, breath moving, song whispering. Deep beneath the forest floor, something stirs. Not awake, not asleep, just aware. Mirkva listens. The tired spirit does not speak now. It does not need to. This is not a time for words. Freyr feels the weight the forest has carried, not as pain, not as urgency, as fatigue. He does not try to lift it. He simply shares the stillness. The ritual continues without form, without markers, without effort. Rain continues to fall. The earth continues to breathe. The forest remains. Freyr stays seated, rooted gently in place, as if he himself has become part of the woodland, not a god, not a guardian, just a presence. The night deepens. The sounds grow softer. The spaces between thoughts widen. Rain falling, earth breathing, song fading into silence. Nothing needs to happen now. Nothing needs to change yet. This moment is enough, and Freyr remains, quietly, beneath the rain. The rain continues to fall, but something within it has changed. Not its sound, not its rhythm, only its feeling. The water no longer feels cold as it touches the forest. It carries a quiet warmth now, subtle, almost unnoticeable unless one is listening closely. Freyr remains seated on the damp ground. He does not move. He does not open his eyes. He feels it through the earth first. Beneath his palms, the soil begins to soften. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just enough to respond. The ground that once resisted now yields slightly, as if remembering how to breathe. Rain falling, earth warming, breath remaining slow. The rain sinks deeper now, not resting on the surface, not running away. It is received. Freyr senses the change as a gentle shift, like the easing of a long-held breath. Nothing rushes forward. Nothing demands attention. The forest simply adjusts. Along the roots near the surface, water gathers and moves inward. Tiny spaces open within the soil, allowing moisture to settle where it has not reached for a long time. The earth listens, and this time it answers. Somewhere nearby, a leaf stirs. Not from wind, not from rain, from growth. It is barely visible, a soft hint of green emerging where dullness once lingered. Not bright, not bold, just present. Rain continues to fall above it, unaware, unconcerned. Growth has never needed an audience. Freyr remains still. He does not smile. He does not speak. He feels no triumph, only balance returning to its place. The forest does not awaken all at once. It would not know how. Instead, small changes ripple outward. Another leaf unfolds. Slowly, its surface thin and new. Nearby, a branch carries a little more weight, as if remembering its purpose. Rain falling, soil softening, life beginning quietly. The air shifts, not cooler, not warmer, just lighter, as though something heavy has been set down. Mirkva feels it. The ancient spirit does not speak. There is no need for words now. Within the great trunk, deep within rings of memory, tension loosens. The weariness that once pressed inward begins to dissolve. Mirkva smiles, not with lips, not with expression, but with release. The spirit does not step away from the tree. It does not rise. It simply returns. Its presence spreads gently into the wood, into fiber and root, into every place it once held together. Rain slides down the bark, and the tree receives it fully now. No resistance, no dryness. The forest breathes, slow, deep, as it has always known how to do. Freyr feels the moment pass through him without stopping. This was never his to keep. The ritual is complete without ending. The song fades without silence. Rain continues, but the night feels different. Not brighter, not louder, just alive. The smallest leaves tremble slightly, not from fear, but from the effort of becoming. Roots press gently outward, finding paths that were once closed. The ground yields where it must, rain falling, growth beginning, rest remaining. Mirkva is no longer separate. The spirit is the forest again, quiet, whole. Freyr remains seated a little while longer, allowing the balance to settle fully. He does not hurry this moment. There is no reason to. Eventually, he opens his eyes. The forest looks much the same. That is how true change often appears. The rain continues to fall softly through the trees, and beneath it, life resumes its slow, patient work. The rain is still falling when Freyr finally rises from the forest floor. Not abruptly, not with decision. He rises the way mist lifts from the ground, slowly, without disturbing anything around it. The earth releases him gently. The soil that once felt strained now feels settled, as if it has remembered its own shape. Freyr feels this through his feet, through the quiet steadiness beneath him. The forest does not respond. It does not stir. It does not whisper. It sleeps. Around him, the whispering forest rests beneath the rain. Leaves lie still, their edges soft and newly formed, holding close to branches that cradle them. Roots remain hidden, pressed into soil that no longer resists. Nothing moves, because nothing needs to. Freyr remains standing for a while. He does not look for signs. He does not listen for voices. There is nothing left to hear. The work of this place has returned to silence. He turns his gaze once more toward the deeper heart of the forest. The ancient trees stand as they always have, their trunks darkened by rain, their branches quiet against the night sky. Mirkva does not appear. There is no presence apart from wood and water and earth, and that absence feels complete. Some spirits remain by becoming inseparable from where they belong. Freyr inclines his head slightly, not in farewell, not in thanks, simply in recognition. Then, without sound, he turns away. His steps are unhurried. Each one finds the ground easily, as if the path is already aware of him. Rain meets his cloak again. It gathers along the fabric, slides downward, returns to the earth without delay. Nothing clings. Nothing stays. Step, breath, step. The forest opens quietly as he moves. Branches do not pull back. Roots do not shift. Space simply exists where it is needed. The canopy thins gradually, not enough to reveal the sky, only enough to let more rain through. The sound changes slightly, becoming clearer, less filtered. Rain falling, night holding, the forest sleeping. Freyr feels no sense of departure. The forest does not feel behind him. It feels complete, continuing without him. Whatever has begun here belongs to soil and root and time, not to memory, not to witness. As he walks, The weight of the forest does not follow. There is no lingering pull. Balance does not ask to be carried. Beyond the final line of trees, Asgard waits, still dark, still wrapped in rain. The sky remains heavy with cloud, unbroken by light. Dawn has not yet considered arriving. Freyr steps out from beneath the branches. Rain falls freely now, no longer softened by leaves. The air feels wider, cooler, more open. He pauses briefly, not to reflect, not to decide, only to feel the space around him. Everything is quiet, everything is in place. He begins the walk back toward the realm. The path is familiar, though no footprints mark it. The great halls rise slowly into view. Their golden roofs do not shine. They glow faintly, muted by rain and night. Water slides along carved edges, following paths worn smooth over ages. Nothing has changed here, and yet everything has. No doors open as Freyr passes. No sound greets him. The realm remains in sleep. Torches along the halls burn low, their flames turned inward, offering warmth without light. Embers breathe softly. Rain continues to fall on stone and gold. It traces familiar lines, repeating motions older than memory. Freyr walks through Asgard unseen. No god wakes. No voice speaks his name. No question forms. And he offers no explanation. Some acts are not meant to be known. They are meant to continue quietly, long after the moment has passed. Freyr returns to his place of rest. He lowers himself slowly, allowing stillness to gather again. There is no exhaustion, no release, only calm. Outside the halls, the forest sleeps. Within the realm, the gods sleep. Between them, the rain falls steadily. Beneath that rain, the smallest changes begin their work. Roots press deeper into softened earth. Moisture settles where it has long been absent. Leaves hold close to branches, protected by darkness. Nothing announces this change. Nothing observes it. The night remains unbroken. The sky remains dark. Dawn will come later. It always does. But it will arrive quietly, without urgency. For now, there is only rain, only rest, only the slow, patient breath of the world, continuing exactly as it should. The story no longer needs words. Everything that needed to move has already moved. Everything that needed to listen has listened. Now, there is only the night. The rain continues to fall, not to signal anything, not to carry meaning. It falls because that is what rain does. You may still hear it, soft and steady, layered gently across the world. Rain touching leaves, rain touching stone, rain touching earth. The wind moves quietly now, not passing through branches with purpose, only brushing them, barely enough to remind them they are there. Leaves respond without sound. Trees remain still. Nothing asks for your attention anymore. There is nothing to follow, nothing to understand. You do not need to imagine. You do not need to remember. Your body already knows what to do. It has been preparing for rest this entire time. Breath moves in its own rhythm, slow, unforced. Each inhale arrives gently. Each exhale leaves without effort. The rain does not hurry you. The wind does not call you. They are simply present. Somewhere far away, the forest rests. Roots settle deeper into softened ground. Leaves remain folded in darkness. Growth waits patiently, without urgency. No one is watching. Nothing is expected. The world is doing what it has always done when night becomes deep enough. It slows. The rain becomes softer, or perhaps you are simply hearing it differently now. Individual drops blend together. Edges blur. Sound becomes texture. The wind passes less often. When it does, it feels distant, like a memory that does not need to be held. Your thoughts may drift. They may form images. They may dissolve. Both are fine. There is no direction here. Rain falling, wind moving, the world breathing. You do not need to stay awake for this part. Nothing important will be missed. The night holds everything gently. Stone, water, trees, you. The rain has no ending. It does not need one. Even when it stops, its presence remains in soil, in leaves, in the air that feels cleaner afterward. Your body sinks more deeply now. The surface beneath you supports you without effort. Muscles release without instruction. The space between breaths grows wider, comfortable, unnoticed. The wind settles, the rain remains, and somewhere far from names and stories, the forest sleeps. And when the forest sleeps, you also sleep. Nothing more needs to be said.